Along Michigan's Great Lakes and deep woods, weird stories never went away. Today, we'll bring 12 haunting legends back to life. Number 1. Michigan Dogman. In the dense forests of northern Michigan, a creature is said to roam that chills even the bravest travelers. It walks on two legs like a man, but has the head of a dog, glowing eyes, and a terrifying howl. This creature is known as the Michigan Dogman, and the first reported sighting dates back to 1887 in Wexford County. Two lumberjacks claimed to see a beast with a man's body and a dog's head staring at them from the trees. Over the decades, sightings of the Dogman have come from all across the state, especially in the woods near Reed City and the Manistee National Forest. Witnesses say it moves quickly and silently through the trees, vanishing just as fast as it appears. Some say they've heard it howling at night, while others believe it watches from the shadows, always just out of reach. The legend exploded in popularity in 1987 when a radio DJ created a song called The Legend, which told the tale of the Dogman. After the song aired, dozens of people called in with their own sightings, many of which had taken place long before the song was written. This sudden rush of stories gave the legend new life, and soon the Dogman became one of Michigan's most talked about mysteries. Whether it's a real creature, a misunderstood animal, or something stranger, the Michigan Dogman continues to haunt the imaginations of locals and visitors alike. To this day, hikers and hunters still share stories of eerie howls and glowing eyes in the dark woods of the north. Number 2. Rouge. In the city of Detroit, there's a strange and eerie figure that many believe brings disaster wherever he appears. He's known as the Rouge, which means red dwarf in French. Small in size but big in reputation, this goblin-like creature is said to have glowing red eyes, sharp teeth, and a wicked grin. The legend dates back to the 1700s, when French settlers first claimed to see the imp before terrible events occurred. One of the most famous stories tells of Antoine de la Mothe Cadillac, the founder of Detroit. He reportedly met the Nain Rouge during a walk, struck the creature with his cane, and soon after fell into a streak of misfortune. He lost his fortune and his position, and many blamed his disrespect of the dwarf as the cause. Since then, the Nain Rouge has become a symbol of bad luck in Detroit history. Throughout the years, sightings of the Nain Rouge have been reported before disasters. People claim to have seen him before the Great Fire of 1805, the riots of 1967, and even the terrible snowstorm of 1976. Some say he appears wearing old, tattered clothes, laughing at those who see him. Others believe he's more spirit than creature, forever tied to the fate of Detroit itself. To this day, Detroit holds an annual Marche du Nain Rouge, a parade where people dress in costumes and symbolically chase the dwarf out of the city to keep away bad luck. Whether he's real or not, the Nain Rouge continues to be one of Michigan's oldest and most unforgettable legends. Number 3. The Paulding Light. In a quiet stretch of woods near Watersmeet, Michigan, there's a strange light that people say never quite goes away. It's known as the Paulding Light, a mysterious glow that appears in the forest, often flickering like a swinging lantern. The legend began in the 1960s when a group of teenagers saw the light moving along an old railroad track. Locals told them it was the ghost of a railroad brakeman who died trying to stop a runaway train. People come from all over to see it. Some say the light floats silently in the air, while others have seen it dart, fade, and change colors. It always shows up in the same spot, deep in the woods off a small side road. Skeptics have tried to explain it as car headlights in the distance, but others insist that it's something more, something supernatural. The light seems too unpredictable, too alive to be anything ordinary. Many believe it could be the spirit of a lantern-carrying ghost still doing his job, searching the tracks for danger. Others think it's the soul of someone who died along the trail, trapped between worlds. Some even say they've heard footsteps, distant whistles, or a low moan when the light appears. Whatever it is, no one has been able to make it stop or figure out why it's there. Today, the Paulding Light is a famous Michigan mystery. There's even a roadside sign where people gather to wait for the light to appear. Some nights, nothing happens, but on others, the glow returns just as the sun goes down. It's a haunting reminder that not every mystery in the forest can be explained away. Number 4. The Melon Heads. Deep in the woods near Holland, Michigan, there are chilling tales of small, strange creatures known as the Melon Heads. They're said to be child-sized beings with oversized bald heads and glowing eyes. The legend claims they once lived in a hospital or asylum, victims of terrible experiments that left them disfigured. When the place shut down, the Melon Heads escaped and vanished into the forest, where some say they still live today. People who claim to have seen them describe them moving quickly through the trees, peeking out from behind branches, or darting across old back roads. Hikers and drivers near the Allegan County woods have shared stories of eerie noises, snapped twigs, and glowing eyes just off the trail. Some even say their cars have been scratched or rocked after spotting something outside the window. The legend has many versions, but most agree that the Melon Heads are reclusive and defensive. They're said to live in hidden shelters deep in the forest and only come out at night. Locals have warned kids for generations not to wander too far off the path, or they might run into the Melon Heads, who don't take kindly to visitors. Though no real proof has ever been found, the fear still lingers in the community. Whether they're real creatures, twisted tales, or warnings from long ago, the Melon Heads have become a lasting part of Michigan folklore. Even today, teenagers dare each other to drive down the dark back roads in hopes of spotting them. But for those who believe the stories, one thing is clear: some legends hide in the woods for a reason. Number 5. Snake Goddess of Belle Isle. On Belle Isle, a small island park in the Detroit River, an old legend still whispers through the trees. It tells of a mysterious Native American spirit, often called the Snake Goddess, who guards the island with supernatural power. Long ago, a chief's daughter was said to have been transformed into this spirit to protect the island from danger. Since then, strange sightings have followed her name. People walking the wooded trails have claimed to see a beautiful woman with long black hair who disappears when approached. Others say she transforms into a giant snake that slithers into the water without a sound, Some fishermen have even reported hearing eerie chanting near the water at night, followed by a sudden cold wind that pushes their boats away from shore. What makes this legend even more mysterious is that the sightings have continued for over 100 years. Locals say the spirit becomes more active when the island is disrespected, when people litter, break rules, or disturb the peace. That's when the snake goddess appears, reminding visitors that Belle Isle isn't just a park, it's sacred ground. To this day, some visitors leave small offerings at hidden spots on the island out of respect, whether it's a shape-shifting protector or just an old warning. The story of the snake goddess has never gone away. And on quiet evenings, when the fog rolls in over the river, many believe she still watches from the trees. Number 6. Dewey Lake Monster. In the early 1960s, something strange began to stir around Dewey Lake in Dowagiac, Michigan. Residents started reporting a huge, hairy creature, over 7 feet tall, with glowing eyes and a terrible smell, lurking in the woods and scaring livestock. The legend quickly caught fire, and soon people were calling it the Dewey Lake Monster, Michigan's very own Bigfoot. For a few summers, the area turned into a frenzy. Newspapers picked up the story, and curious locals armed with flashlights and cameras swarmed the forest. Some claimed to see giant footprints near the lake. Others heard deep, rumbling growls in the night. A few swore they caught glimpses of a hulking shadow disappearing into the trees just before dawn. Despite the attention, no one ever caught the creature or found solid proof. But that didn't stop the stories. People said the monster might be an undiscovered animal, a government experiment gone wrong, or even a spirit guarding the woods. Whatever it was, the fear it sparked was very real, especially for those living near the lake. Even today, the Dewey Lake Monster is remembered in local tales, and some believe it still roams the forests, avoiding people and waiting for nightfall. Whether it was real or just a case of mass imagination, it remains one of Michigan's most famous mysteries, and one that still keeps some campers awake at night. Number 7. Ada Witch. In the quiet town of Ada, Michigan, near the old Finley Cemetery, whispers still drift through the trees about the Ada Witch. The story dates back to the 1800s, when a woman is said to have cheated on her husband and met a tragic end. Caught in the act, both the woman and her lover were killed in a violent fight, leaving their spirits tangled in unrest. Locals believe the woman's ghost never moved on. Over the years, many have claimed to see a pale figure in a long blue dress drifting through the woods or kneeling near gravestones at night. Cold spots, strange lights, and even the feeling of being watched have all been reported near the cemetery. Some say she weeps softly, mourning the chaos her choices caused. One of the most chilling encounters comes from drivers on Honey Creek Road. People say the Ada Witch sometimes appears suddenly on the roadside or in rearview mirrors, only to vanish without a trace. Others report hearing footsteps when no one is around, or catching the scent of perfume in the empty air. Though no official records confirm the murder, the legend has grown stronger with every passing decade. The Ada Witch remains one of Michigan's most famous ghost stories, and even now, some locals avoid the cemetery at night, just in case her spirit is still searching for peace. Number 8. Wendigo. In the cold forests of Michigan's Upper Peninsula, a much older legend takes root, one that comes from Native American tales, especially from the Ojibwe and Algonquin people. It's the Wendigo, a terrifying spirit born from greed, starvation, and the unforgivable act of cannibalism. The Wendigo is said to be gaunt, with glowing eyes, sharp claws, and a hunger that can never be satisfied. Stories tell of harsh winters when people were trapped without food. Those who gave in to dark desperation and ate human flesh were believed to become Wendigos themselves. From then on, they would stalk the forests endlessly, cursed with a hunger for flesh and a heart of ice. Some believe the creature still roams the woods when the snow falls deep and silence fills the night. Hunters, hikers, and campers have shared eerie stories, seeing shadowy figures moving too quickly between trees, hearing growls in the wind, or finding strange tracks that vanish in the snow. Some even say the Wendigo can possess people, turning them cold and dangerous without warning. While some say it's just a myth to scare people into good behavior, others treat the story with deep respect, especially those who live close to the old forests. Whether a warning, a curse, or a creature, the Wendigo legend still haunts the northern wilds of Michigan and reminds everyone just how thin the line between survival and horror can be. Number 9. Minikey. In the small town of Forester, Michigan, along the edge of Lake Huron, the tragic tale of Minikey has been passed down for generations. Back in 1876, Minnie was just a teenager when she fell in love with a sailor. Her parents didn't approve of the relationship, and when the young man left on a voyage, he promised to return, but the ship sank, and he never came back. Heartbroken and shunned by townsfolk who gossiped cruelly about her, Minnie began to change. She wandered the shore alone, staring at the water, waiting for someone who would never return. Then one gray afternoon, she walked down the town's dock and vanished beneath the waves. Some say she jumped, others claim she was pulled by the sorrow in her heart. Since then, many have reported seeing a girl in a long white dress, walking silently along the shore or standing at the end of the dock, gazing out into the lake. Some say she weeps. Others say she warns young women not to follow in her footsteps. Fishermen and visitors alike have heard crying in the wind and whispers just above the water. Minikey's ghost is more than just a spooky story. She's a part of Forester's past. Her legend remains one of Michigan's most haunting, and those who visit Lake Huron still wonder if the weeping spirit of a heartbroken girl walks the shoreline, forever watching the waves. Number 10. Torch Lake Monster. Nestled in northern Michigan, Torch Lake is one of the deepest and clearest lakes in the state. But beneath its beautiful blue surface, locals say something else lurks. Something big, mysterious, and very old. That something is the Torch Lake Monster, a creature first whispered about in the late 1800s. Fishermen have told tales of a beast with a long neck, a large fish-like body, and glowing red eyes. Some even say it has a horn. Reports describe the monster gliding just below the surface or stirring up the water late at night. Though no one has ever captured it, sightings continue to this day, often followed by strange ripples or bubbles rising from the depths. One popular version of the story says the creature was first seen near the mouth of the Clam River, and that its appearance always brings storms or bad luck. Others believe it's a prehistoric creature that survived deep in the lake's cold trenches. Whether it's a sea serpent, giant sturgeon, or something completely unknown, the legend keeps people curious and just a little nervous. Though the Torch Lake Monster has never hurt anyone, it remains one of Michigan's most fascinating mysteries. Tourists come for the beauty, but some leave with stories of a shadow beneath their boat. Whether myth or monster, the legend still swims through the heart of Torch Lake. Number 11. Crying Woman of Indian Village. In one of Detroit's oldest and most elegant neighborhoods, Indian Village, stands a mansion with a chilling reputation. Locals speak of a mysterious woman dressed in 1920s clothing who appears at an upstairs window, her face streaked with tears. The home itself is grand, built during a time of great wealth, but some say it hides a terrible sadness within its walls. The legend centers around a young woman who once lived there nearly a century ago. According to neighborhood whispers, she was heartbroken after losing her child to illness and then her husband in a tragic accident not long after. Consumed by grief, she spent her final days alone in the house, rarely seen by others, until one day she vanished, leaving only her sorrow behind. Visitors and even real estate agents have reported hearing soft, sobbing echo through the hallways, especially near the grand staircase and upstairs bedrooms. Some say they've seen the woman's shadow pass by a window, even when the house is empty. Lights flicker, doors creak open without reason, and pets often refuse to enter certain rooms. The crying woman of Indian Village has never harmed anyone, but her sadness seems to echo through time. Her ghost remains one of Detroit's most quietly famous mysteries, a gentle but heart-wrenching presence in a neighborhood known for its beauty and history. Number 12. Mishapeshu. Deep beneath the waters of Lake Superior, the Ojibwe people have long believed a powerful spirit watches over the lake. This creature is called Mishapeshu, or the Great Lynx, with the body of a big cat, horns on its head, scales like a serpent, and a long coiled tail. Mishapeshu is said to guard the sacred copper and the mysterious depths of the lake. The legend goes back hundreds of years, passed down through generations of Ojibwe stories. Mishapeshu is not just a monster, it's a spirit with purpose. It's known to be a guardian, but also a force that must be respected. Those who disturb the lake's peace or try to steal from its hidden places may face fierce storms, wrecks, or simply vanish without a trace. Fur traders and early explorers even recorded native accounts of seeing strange ripples on calm days, or hearing roars and growls from beneath the surface. Some believe that shipwrecks on Lake Superior were caused not by weather alone, but by the wrath of Mishapeshu. Even today, some fishermen offer tobacco or quiet prayers before heading out, just in case they cross its path. Whether spirit, protector, or ancient mystery, Mishapeshu remains one of Michigan's oldest and most powerful tales. Its story reminds us of the deep respect people once had, and still have, for the mighty and unpredictable waters of Lake Superior. If you enjoyed the video, please click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.